A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News. Come to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Center here in Colombo. I am Florin Rajendran and here's a look at your headlines. Former Minister Basil Rajapaksa granted bail. Suspect arrested in Vattala with a stock of 3 kilograms of heroin in his possession. Corruption acts cannot be eliminated due to the shortcomings in the law. A statement from Minister Partly. Air Vice Marshal Gagan Bulat Singhal appointed new Air Force commander. On to those stories in detail now. The Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau has apprehended a suspect with 3 kilograms of heroin in Vattala. Police media spokesperson ASP Ron Gunasekara stated that a jeep and car were also seized at the time of the arrest. The arrest was made last evening when the stock of drugs were brought in a jeep and was to be unloaded into the car close to a supermarket in Vattala. The police added that over 2.4 million rupees were also seized from the suspect's possession. Police media spokesperson ASP Ron Gunasekara went on to note that the suspect is being held by the Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau and that further investigations are underway. Former Minister of Economic Development MP Basil Rajapaksa has been granted bail by the Colombo High Court. MP Rajapaksa was released on a cash bail of 100,000 rupees and a surety of 1 million rupees.
High Court Judge Kusala Sarojini Veerawardena also issued an order to the Kaduvela Magistrates Court to impound the passport of the former minister. Former Minister Basil Rajapaksa and 3 other officials were arrested on the 22nd of April on charges of alleged financial irregularities said to have taken place at the Divi Neguma Development Department. The remaining 3 suspects were also released on the same bail conditions.
Southern Provincial Councillor Minister D.V. Uppul, who was under remand custody, was released on bail today. He was released on conditions of a 25,000 rupee bail, 2 sureties of 1 million rupees each and a ban on foreign travel. The provincial minister was held under remand custody over a statement he had allegedly made on the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division. When the suspect was produced before Colombo Chief Magistrate Gihan Pilapitia, the Crimes Investigations Division had made submissions to the provincial minister. Was using 2 national identity cards. The officers in court noted that investigations are underway over this matter. The magistrate ordered that Southern Provincial Minister D.V. Uppul reappear in court on the 23rd of July. Speaking at a public meeting held in Homagama yesterday, Minister Partly Champika Ranavika expressed the following views on the spreading and circulation of drugs in the country.
Today, at a time when we have been able to apprehend all those who are in power and cradle the drug gangs, those who use their power in the media with the money they earn from these drug gangs, the Pakistani drug kingpin named Siddiq, as well as Vele Sudha, who operated the drug racket in Dehiwala, it can now be seen that the dowry for the daughter of the Inspector General of Police has been funded by a drug dealer. So what more can be said? We have exposed a vast amount of information about various people who have been posing as artists. All that dirt has come before the country today. Speaking further, the minister said that certain acts of corruption cannot be rectified due to the shortcomings in the law. It is quite disappointing to say that certain acts of corruption cannot be solved due to the shortcomings in the law. Recently, the suspects of the Kotakethana murders were released. This does not imply that there were no murders in Kotakethana. If this had happened in another country, the law would have been strictly enforced, without any doubt. A large stock of weapons were found in storage facilities belonging to the Avant-Garde Security Service, all illegally from Gaul and the BMICH. There are allegations that there was a racket where arms were sold overseas, but no arrests have been made. The clerk who signed this check is in jail, but those who issued the order are free. Some go to the Supreme Court to see if their fundamental rights are violated. Those people's fundamental rights should not be solved in the Supreme Court. Instead, they should be taken to Gaulface. If this government cannot do this, then at least another government should be established to punish these people.
ඒ දූෂිතයින්ට දඬුවම් ලබා දිය යුතුයි මිත්‍රවරුනි.
Air Vice Marshal Gagan Pulastin Bulatsinghal has been appointed as the new Air Force commander. Meanwhile, Air Marshal Kolita Gunatilaka was appointed Chief of Defence Staff. The Presidential Media Unit said that the aforementioned appointment letters were presented at the Presidential Secretariat today. Meanwhile, a body of a 17-year-old schoolboy has been found from the Kolumbege area in a teak forest in Udavalava. Police said that the body was discovered following investigations launched into a complaint lodged by the victim's father on the disappearance. The police added that the laceration marks were found on the body of the victim. The magisterial inquest and a post-mortem examination is due to be carried out later in the day. The police said that the fire that broke out last afternoon in a mattress factory in Bandaragama was doused by this morning. The fire broke out at around 4 p.m. yesterday. No manufacturing had taken place yesterday as it was a holiday. At the time the fire broke out, only a few officers were present. The fire department had been informed immediately and the Horana Colombo Fire Brigade had deployed 5 fire trucks to douse the flames. The reason for the fire is yet to be ascertained. Deputy Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Sanat Jayasuriya, assumed duties in his ministerial portfolio today.
Deputy Minister Sanat Jayasuriya assumed duties at the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
විශේෂයෙන් අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාට මට බාර දීපු කාර්ය ධූරය වෙනුවෙන් එතුමාට විශේෂයෙන් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙන්න.
Firstly, I would like to thank the President for giving me this position. I wish to know that I will undertake my responsibilities as Deputy Minister in the best of my ability. I would like to know that the entire ministry will work together towards the development and prosperity of the country.
එකතු වෙලා රටේ සංවර්ධන වැඩපිළිවෙල වෙනුවෙන් අපේ අමාත්‍යාංශයෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන් උපරිම දේ අපි රට වෙනුවෙන් කරනවා කියන එක විශේෂයෙන් කියන්න ඕනේ.
Let's now take a look at some of the views that were expressed at public meetings in several parts of the country.
දේශපාලන ඉතිහාසයේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ
The United National Party was able to give the people of this country things that were not given in the history of Sri Lankan politics. In a span of 100 days, several bills were brought forward in these 100 days. There is something that we all know, but for those who don't, a person one day said in a temple that he protected all those who committed wrong. He hid them from all the nasty things that they had done. So despite making such a confession, do the people of this country still believe that the criminals responsible for depriving innocent children of their education and raping innocent women can be forgiven?
Today the country's politics are heading in a new direction. The indisciplined politics is being taken away in order to bring back the disciplined politics. At the point of time, I would like to remind that the government has been able to do certain things in these 153 days, which Rajapaksa could not do over the past 12 years with a 2/3 majority. We tried to reduce the prices of gas, kerosene oil and fuel, but Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was in steel shoes, did not reduce them. But we were able to provide you with that benefit. He does not want to get into the political stage because he's afraid. Instead, he's going to temples.
නමුත් පන්සලෙන් පන්සලට යනවා. ජනවාරි 10 ඉඳලා අද වෙනකොට මාස කීයද? මාස 5යි.
How many months has it been since the 10th of January? 5 months. In these 5 months, if the government which the people have been displeased with by this much in the history of Sri Lanka, it would be the government of Ranil Wickremesinghe. Ranil Wickremesinghe has always been Prime Minister. He was Prime Minister twice, and both these times he was appointed not through his own powers. This shows that the people of this country is not ready to make Ranil Wickremesinghe Prime Minister of this country.
Chief Minister of the Ubud Province, Harin Fernando, states that an era has dawned where state employees could engage in their duties without being political slaves. He made this statement during a discussion held between school principals of the Badulla district. The meeting was held to discuss the issues in schools in the Badulla district. School equipment worth 197,000 rupees were also presented.
With the passage of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution recently, a historic change took place within the country. Do not forget that the 19th Amendment to the Constitution has enabled public officials to stand straight. An opportunity has come about where you could make use of your educational background and skills to work towards the betterment of your own self without being political servants.
Well, that's a wrap of lunchtime news here at News First. You could keep abreast of these stories and much more by simply logging into our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First team, I'm Florine Rajendran. Have a wonderful day ahead of you.